Assalamualaikum everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm here at Donway Ford in Scarborough for a review of something special. But before I start the review, I want to say Ramadan Mubarak to everybody. The blessing month is back and it's going so fast, but I'm trying to do the reviews as fast as possible with fasting and this cold, hot weather at the same time. So today, the car that we have is this. This is the 2025 Ford Mustang Dark Horse, the most expensive Ford Mustang that you can buy from Ford. A lot of people are going to compare the Shelby models because everyone in the comment section are going to look for mistakes, so this is for them. The Shelby models are not sold by Ford. That's a different company. It's Shelby. It's like Hennessy. It's a company, or it's like Brabus. That's not something that Ford sells. But this is the most expensive car that Ford sells for the Mustang, the 2025 Ford Mustang Dark Horse. As it's an MTS Vlogs review, let's talk about history about Ford, or it's not going to be completed, right? Ford Motor Company was founded in 1903. Henry Ford, the founder of Ford, started building cars at 1903 because the American market needed cars. Ford is a well-known automobile manufacturer from the American side, and they are building cars that are beautiful in terms of design, good in terms of performance, but at the end of the day, it's American. So every single American is going to buy an American car. Good motivation. But let's talk about the Mustang. The Ford Mustang is the iconic car for Ford because this is a two-door sports muscle car. Because it's not a sports car, it's a muscle car because it's American. It always had a V12, it always was rear-wheel drive with a good manual transmission. So people can drive around, listen to the V8 and enjoy the car everywhere. But today we have the latest generation, the 2025 Ford Mustang Dark Horse, the most expensive Ford Mustang that's possible for you to buy from a brand new Ford dealership. So let's start by showing you guys the key. I did a Ford Mustang video a few days ago. It was a Ford Mustang convertible EcoBoost, and this is a complete different vehicle, so that's why the key is same. You have unlock, lock, your trunk opening and your panic button, and it says the Mustang logo at the back. It's overall pretty aggressive looking, and whenever you unlock the car it does a nice animation. But let's start showing you guys the front. The front of the car has basic changes from the normal Mustang GT or the normal Mustang EcoBoost. This entire part is in this matte black finishing. You have two big intakes for cooling the car's engine. You have the Mustang logo at the front, and overall the radar is there. There's more openings there. There's more openings here because the car's oil coolers are on either side because it's a big body V8. You have this nice splitter, but if you get an optional extra option, it has an extender for the splitter. If we go up from there, the hood is different from the GT or the EcoBoost. You have some functional vents here for taking all the air in from here that can come out and ventilate the engine at the same time. You have these nice stickering on the top that says Mustang Dark Horse on it, but I can't show you that right now. I'm going to show you that when I show the car's side profile. It does have rain sensing wipers with adaptive cameras for lane keeping assist and automatic braking assist. I'm going to get inside the car, turn on the headlights so you guys can take a look at that as well. The headlights are really powerful. I drove this car at night and day, so I know how this car feels when you drive it. So here we are inside, foot on the brake, foot on the clutch, make sure the car is on neutral, and press the start button. And there the car turns on. Overall, so it's a V8, so it's going to be loud. So this is with the headlight, this is with the hazard, this is with the high beam, this is without the high beam. Now I'm going to come outside and I'm going to show you a bit of the light, and then I'm going to go to the car's engine. So the nicest part of the headlights are it has this extra edge to it, and this actually makes it look like it's just straight up eyes, and it looks like the car is staring at you with an angry face. You have 3 massive projector setups. It's pretty nice. It has automatic high beam assist, and the headlight actually moves at night, so that's better. And overall, it's a nice car to look at from the front. Now let's see what is the powertrain of the 2025 Ford Mustang Dark Horse. Let's open the hood from the driver's side, and it's pretty simple. So there's a button located here, and then there's a strut at the front. But a lot of people are gonna have this question in the comment section, that why are we gonna pay more $40,000 from the normal Mustang GT or the normal Mustang GT Premium to the Dark Horse? Let me explain that. The Ford Mustang Coupe starts with the EcoBoost that has a 2.3 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine with a 10-speed automatic transmission. It's rear-wheel drive, it has a limited slip differential, it's like quick fun. It's the same with the convertible. Then comes the GT or the GT Premium. That car has a 5-liter naturally aspirated V8 with 480 horsepower. It's the same. You can either get a 10-speed automatic or you can get a 6-speed manual transmission. Powers are going to the rear wheels. But the Dark Horse is different. The front entire car's downforce is increased, so it's better on the track. Second, the car's engine has more performance than the normal GT. So the normal GT has 480 horsepower. The Mustang Dark Horse has 500 horsepower and 418 pound-feet of torque. But the Dark Horse is more like a tracker version than the normal GT. The Dark Horse has more upgraded brakes from the normal GT, so it has better braking performance, better weight to power ratio, and better downforce. If you look at the engine, it says 5.0 on the top. It has 2 massive intercoolers for cooling the car, and it has a single throttle body. You have the V8 engine right there. It says Mustang Dark Horse on the chin panel over there. You have insulation on the top, and you can see this vent is actually functional. It's pretty nice overall. This is where you pour your engine oil fluid. That's your radiator fluid. That's your power steering fluid. The car's battery is at the back, but you have the positive here, so if you want to jump start it. The Shelby models will get a supercharger on this, and there's a performance model coming out soon that's going to have a supercharger on it as well. The problem is American cars are only fun to drive when it has supercharged engines. But it's not bad. It's a Mustang. It's fun to drive. It should be. Now let me show you the car's side profile. So now we're on the side profile of the car. Let's start with the front because that's where the upgraded are. So the Dark Horse gets 2 different wheels, and it is more aggressive looking than the normal GT. These are 255/40 R19s. You have 6-piston Brembo brakes, and the front disc caliper thickness is 15.5 inches. Let's come to the brakes. The GT gets your normal brakes, but the Brembos are upgraded with the Dark Horse. That's where the price increases of the car as well. You have strut suspension with coil springs, but the suspension have dampening. So it's better out when you put the car on track mode or when you put it on drag strip mode. It gets the suspension to the maximized settings of stiffness so it can be stable at a very high speed. You have side reflectors there, and why do I keep mentioning that? Because American and Canadian cars are the only cars that get that car. I mean, not American and Canadian cars, like every car that's sold in America and Canada. Yeah. You have the Dark Horse badge right there. The exterior mirror is the same treatment as the front grille, but it's here instead of the A-pillar, so it's a bit extended. It does get frameless doors, and the one cool part is the Mustang convertible doesn't come with the Dark Horse, it's just the coupe. You have some nice side skirts. It's like these artificial carbon fiber kind of looking, but the rear wheels are nice. The rear wheels are more thicker because it's rear wheel drive, 275/40 R19s. Rear brakes are 15 inches flat, and you have multi-link suspension with coil springs, but it has a limited slip differential and it has kinetic suspension. Same reflector thing here, and just look at the car's body, how it extends. That's why Mustang looks better than the Charger, because it has a very nice looking side end. If you just press this button, you have your fuel tank and you can fill up the tank. It says 87 plus on the badge right there, but it's capless, it's cool. And the nicest part for the back is the really nice spoiler if you look at it from that angle. But now I'm going to show you the car's rear. So the rear of the Mustang is a beautiful end. But what are the difference from the normal GT to the Dark Horse? You can see it has an extended spoiler, but the Dark Horse Fastback gets another extended spoiler. That one is inside the showroom, but they still have that available. It's really nice how it's aerodynamic and stuff. You have the reversing camera placed here with the Dark Horse badge. The tail lights are same as the convertible, and it is really nice in my opinion. But I'm going to get inside, turn it on, but let's start by showing you everything below because the car's going to get loud. The exhaust tips are way different and way bigger than the normal GT. You have parking sensors at the back, your reverse light, number plate slot, and your reflectors. Overall, it's a nice end. Let's get inside. I'm going to turn on the car and show you the tail lights. So let's quickly do that. And so foot on the brake, foot on the clutch, pressing the start button. There, the car turns on. This is with the car's full lights. That's with the car's hazards. And I'm gonna come outside for showing you guys the rest. I mean, obviously it's an American V8. It's supposed to be loud. Tail lights are nice. You have the swiping hazards, and that's where the coolest part are because these are OLED tail lights. You have the reversing camera and the Dark Horse badge. It's like a horse that's dark and angry. It's pretty nice to be honest. But if you press this button, that opens the car's boot. So I can lift this up, and to be honest, this is actually a car that fits a lot of stuff. When I had my Ford Mustang convertible, I had that for like 2 months, and then I had to sell it because it was not worth it. But I went to Costco, I did all my groceries, and the car actually fitted. I actually have a video on that too. So you have the floor mats here, you have the number plate bracket for the front end because Ontario, we have to destroy our car's looks because of legal issues. You have the towing hook and all of your different stuff, and if you look at this side, you have the car's subwoofer because this car has the upgraded sound system, so it's supposed to be a little better than the EcoBoost. You have this for opening the boot from the inside, and it's pretty nice. One complaint I did have from the EcoBoost was the sound system. I think this is gonna actually beat it because it has 2 more speakers at the rear dash. It's pretty nice how everything is, but now let me show you the cars inside, and you guys can listen to the exhaust at the end of the video or the start, whichever you guys like. So the interior of the car is pretty similar as the EcoBoost, but let me show you what are the difference. You have the artificial carbon fiber here with the Dark Horse badge, and then you have this very nice black leather with the blue stitching. You have a lockable glove box with decent amount of room. You have the AC vent that's located right there. These are the big difference from the normal Mustang GT or the EcoBoost. This car gets Recaro bucket seats, and it's pretty comfortable to be honest, but it's buckety at the same time, so that's a good thing. If you look at the center, you have a bit of a storage area here with a 12-volt socket. You have 2 cup holders placed here. You have the car's gear knob here with a little bit of storage, and your USB sockets with another power outlet. The EcoBoost didn't get a power handbrake. It had one there, but the Dark Horse and the GT gets a handbrake, but it's automatic. So for lifting it up, this is for lifting it, and this is for releasing it. So it's pretty obvious how it is. It's pretty nice though. And then you have some functions at the center, but let's go up first because you have your vanity mirrors with a light on either side. You have an auto dimming rear view mirror. That's nice. You have some light placements here with a sunglass holder, and you have a garage opener located here. Now let me show you the car's technology. So this car gets a 12.3-inch driver's display and a 14.3-inch infotainment system. It's pretty nice how everything is, but let's turn everything on. So when you unlock the car, you get inside the car, it obviously does a very nice animation. So when you get in, it does a Dark Horse animation on the infotainment system, and it says the Dark Horse right there. This will never end until you start the car, so foot on the brake. I'm going to turn the car on ignition. So it does a nice animation with the Dark Horse on both of the sides, and then foot on the brake, foot on the clutch. You can turn the car on. So this screen is pretty much same. It has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, but if you go on home, you have your different widgets that's turned on. So you have your built-in navigation with your audio and phone. You can go to settings. You can control a lot of stuff for the car. So first of all is your general settings. You can add your phone, the clock setting, general settings, your navigation. If you go on general settings, you can control all of your different stuff from here and reset them. And then if you go to the instrument cluster, you can change how you want the instrument cluster to be. So you can have your different informations there. You can have a lot of different type of gauges that you want. But for the meantime, I'll just let it be like that. Then you can go to central display, and then you can control the brightness and all of your different stuff. If you go on vehicle settings, you can control a lot of different stuff from here. But let's go to the fun part, because that's nothing that we need, right? So if we get out from here, if we go on features, we can go to driver's assistant, where we can control all of the different safety systems for the vehicle. If we go to my Mustang, you can see the Mustang Dark Horse, and when we reviewed the EcoBoost, it had the same image of the Dark Horse, but finally we have the Dark Horse with the review. So these are your exhaust modes. So this is the exhaust with the valve closed. So now the car doesn't have any sound. I mean, it does have sound, but it's like quiet. So if I press on the gas, it doesn't have much sound. This is normal, so it's a bit better. This is with the sport, and this is with the exhaust completely open for the track, so it gets much louder. So I'm going to close out the valves now, but if we go to track apps, you can do a lot of stuff. You can access your drift braking, so you can use your parking brake as the e-brake, so you can use the parking brake when you're drifting around. You have your line locker. That's how you can do a burnout. I tried to do that on the EcoBoost, but it's just it didn't work. Then you have launch control, and then you have ref matching. So when you change gears, it's going to ref match itself. You have your acceleration timer, so that's nice. You can go from 0 to 50, 0 to 100, 0 to 200, 200 meters, 400 meters, whatever you want. Then you have your braking performance from 100 to 0. You can try all of your different stuff in the screen. You have your lap timer, launch settings, and your shift indicator. If we get out of here, you can go to your gauges. So these are all of your different gauges at the same time. You can have that with different fonts. And then you can go to your custom mode, so you can control all of your different stuff for the vehicle. That's nice. And then you can control the ambient lighting from here. And you can also control the color of the gauges too. So if I want to change it to red, I have to do it from here, I forgot. If I want everything to be red, I can have everything in red. It's not a big deal. But if I want different colors, I can obviously have different colors. So for the meantime, I'm gonna just leave it with blue and red, because that's the combination I had when I had the car as well. Then you have your cluster theme. So you have the basic, this is for, it's gonna be with the driving modes, so whichever driving mode's gonna choose. Then you have the normal gauges. This is the sports gauge. This is the track gauge. And then this is the normal comm gauge. And then you have the classic 1967 or 1968 kind of gauge. So this actually looks like the ones that back in the day. You can have the Fox body gauge, or you can have the SVT Cobra gauge. I mean, that's nice. That's a nice feature. I'm gonna have it with the classic, so it actually looks really nice. And then I can go out of this, and that's pretty much it. Then we can get out of here. You have your edit favorites, owner's manual, pretty basic from there. Then you have two AC vents here with your start button, Mustang mode, traction control, hazards, favorite, max AC. Pretty nice. And then if we go to the car's gear knobble, it's a 6-speed, as you can see. Pretty decent. And then if we come to the steering wheel, you have leather and Alcantara. It's tilt and telescopic, so that's nice. And then you have some buttons here. These are for the car's volume and stuff. These are for your cruise control and driving modes. This is for your high beam and hazard, and this is for the windshield wiper. And the blast is actually pretty nice, but it didn't have any water inside. Now let me show you the car's instrument cluster. Foot on the brake, pressing the start button, the car won't start because I have to press on the clutch. And then when it starts, it does a nice animation. So for the instrument cluster, you have a lot of different configuration. That's nice. So I'm going to do that again so you guys can have a closer look. So first of all, you can control a lot of stuff from the indicators. So you have your driver's assistance, you have the gauge dials, you have the gauge details, you have the tire pressure monitor, you have the fuel economy, you have the trip one, and then you can also choose whatever different stuff you want for the center. But if we change out the display, so we have to go to my Mustang again, and then while that loads up, I'm going to show you some more different stuff. So you have the exhaust controller here, so it's going to tell you what mode it's in, and this is for the driving modes. That's for the steering feel, so you can change that if you want the steering on sports, normal, or normal. So if you press this button, you have your steering on comfort, steering on sport, or steering on normal. You can control that from the steering wheel. It's pretty nice. This is your fuel gauge. This is your blind spot monitoring, also controlling here. That's your gas with your engine temperature. That's your speed. But why does it look so old-fashioned? Because you can change the dials. So if we go on cluster theme, so this is the normal dial that the car gets. This is the sports dial. This is the track dial. This is the calm. And then this is the classic 1967-68 gauge. This is the Fox body gauge. And this is the SVT Cobra gauge. I'm going to leave it with this for the meantime. But when you change the drive modes, it does more animations. So that's with normal, that's sport, that's track, that's drag strip, that's slippery, and that's custom. It's pretty nice, but it's pretty same. And when you turn the car off, it does a nice animation, and I'm going to show you the car's door. First of all, you have your AC vent here. Then you have the leather and the blue stitching. This is for opening your boot and your headlight controller and instrument cluster brightness. This is for opening the hood, so the button. You have your death pedal, clutch, brake pedal, gas pedal. You have the seat controllers here. The seats are manual for saving weight. It says Mustang Dark Horse right there. As it's a brand new car, it's completely fresh. You have the tweeters here with the lock and unlock. This is for the door opener. You have the Alcantara with the blue leather and the black leather contrasting. You have the grab handle with the window switches and the exterior mirror controls with your bottle holders. Pretty nice. So if you liked this review, make sure you hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks to Donway Ford for providing this car to me so I could do a full in-depth review. And thanks to all of the people that supported me so I could do this review, and it's more easier for me to do it here. So if you need any Fords, you can obviously hit them up. I'm going to link their social medias and everything in the description, and I'm going to provide their phone numbers too. And that's going to be pretty much it for the review. And if you do need any cars, you can come and talk to Mr. Ryan. He can help you out with all of the stuff. And thanks to the manager, Mr. Omar, for arranging all the cars for me. Until then, I'll see you next time. Peace.